Good morning. Sorry, I was just laughing because the same thing happened yesterday. But good afternoon, no, good morning. See, I'm completely thrown. I was just busy watching the giraffe scratching itself. I don't know if you saw just behind me there. But it's always a wonder to see how they can stretch their neck around, and it always looks very awkward. But my name's Tara, welcome on board this morning to the Gunda. Mark is behind the camera this morning, and back in front of control is Sebastian. So if you do have any questions, please do send them through. It's always great to hear from you. And let us know where you are in the world so we can hear where, maybe we're in the USA, maybe we're in Australia, maybe we're in the UK. It's always great to hear who is on board. So definitely send us your questions and send in where you're from as well. But I think let's have a quick look at the giraffes and then we'll head on. We had quite a giraffe day yesterday, and there has been a lot of giraffes around. I know there's been a few people saying, where's the giraffes, where's the giraffes? And all of a sudden they've just popped out of the woodwork. And I actually thought it was going to be quite chilly this morning, but it's quite a pleasant temperature. Oh, is the sun rising? Can you see it through there? Do we need to move a bit? You need to move back a little bit. I'm just going to move back so we've got it out in the open. It's a little bit better. The temperature always drops just after the sun is rising because the air starts to warm up and starts to move, so that cold air sinks and you get this really cold drop in temperature. Everything's very peaceful this morning. I think the zebra are waiting to be warmed up by the first sun rays. Get off me, man. stallions standing watch while his family take the time to relax or feed.
She might walk in front of the sun, that's all.
Yeah, she might do. I don't know how many birds you can hear, but there is the Cape turtle dove calling.
No.
They stop now. Do, 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 do. Saying drink lager, drink lager. It is Friday. And I've never heard its other name. Apparently it is known as a ringneck dove as well. Have you heard that?
What's that?
The Cape turtle dove.
Ringneck dove.
Mm.
I grew up knowing it was a ringneck dove.
Ringneck
But I
dove.
think it's just a generic term for most.
Ah.
There's called Geordie.
Ah, baboons are awake. So I think someone sent in it was a ringneck dove the other day. And actually they were right. I've just not heard them being called that before. The Cape turtle dove. Oh. Early morning greeting. There's little Genesis and Shirley. Giraffe's taking an interest. I'd actually like to go and see them. It's been a little while since we've seen the baboons. If you would like to send your questions through, it's questions@juma.com. Nice bold horns on the male there. Although you can never take that as an absolute, because I have seen a couple of females who have also gone bald on top. Might have just been scratching the horns, or ossicones as they're called, on a tree. But the female just to the left, she does have still quite fluffy tops to the horns. And actually you can see quite nicely that size difference. Males generally get maybe about a metre taller than the females. And actually you can see quite nicely how dark that male is compared to the female, and even the lighter areas have also gone slightly darker than the tan colour in between her blotches. There's a much darker colour. If only they weren't standing behind the trees. Maybe we can move just a little bit, 'cause you might be able to see that difference a little bit better. Let's move forward a little bit. Oh, here comes the zebra. Actually, okay, we're going to be in front of the sun, but hopefully that might be a nice shot. Maybe the male might be better. Oh, I need to move forward a bit, don't I?
Good.
Because I'm looking and the sun's just behind her. Okay, say when.
Put her head down now.
Beautiful light though. Hi Donna, over there in Nebraska. Good morning to you. And wondering how winter is over here. How cold does it get? And I don't think as cold as what you guys get. But it is quite cold. But the problem being, it's still fairly warm during the day. Though some days you do get a very, very bad nip in the air and it just won't shift. But on some days you can get really warm temperatures, and it's that drop in temperature after the sun sets and it just plummets. I saw the Gary gang run off that way. Should we go and try and catch them up? So I don't think it's really the temperatures that it drops to is bad. It's just that difference in temperature between the day and the night. I think we got down as low as 0 in some of the spots. There was some frost on the ground. Sorry? I can see all the baboons right now. Saw one of them running.
Still outside the
Leopard tracks just crossing over Gowrie, Maine, apparently going into Chitwa Chitwa. Gowrie gang have done a runner. Yeah, they were heading fast in that direction. But not to worry, we still have some zebra. It looks like we might have a couple of families here. Zebras can become quite sociable. Hi Brenda, good morning to you. Wondering how tall the giraffe was we were watching just as the sun was coming up. The female, I think she's probably around 4 meters. I don't think she's 4.5. I think she's probably about 4, and the male's probably about 5. He looked a good meter taller than she was. Hi, William. Interesting question. Whenever you see giraffes, you always see zebra with them. And is that a normal relationship? And it is fairly normal. I mean, giraffes have got the ability to see quite far. I mean, very, very little will actually pass a giraffe by without its noticing. And zebras will obviously make use of that ability, because the giraffe has the eyes a good 4 or 5 meters off the ground, whereas their eyes are probably just only about 1.5 meters off the ground. So they'll make use of that. But obviously the giraffe can also make use of the zebra in the same way. I mean, zebra also have a good ability for detecting predators. There's also some impala just in the background as well. Also making use of the zebra and the giraffe probably being here. And the more eyes and ears to detect predators, the better chance you have of surviving. So if there are other herbivores around, quite often you'll find them actually being in close proximity to each other. And even if we have a territorial animal during the breeding season like an impala, or a wildebeest, you'll often find them mixing in with the other antelope. It's almost as if they have an identity crisis. But actually, it's for safety, because if you're on your own, you're going to have to divide your time between feeding and, especially during the breeding season, keeping other males out of your territory, territorial marking, and keeping a lookout for predators. So it can be quite a stressful time. But if you've got maybe a herd of zebra or a few giraffe around, then you can actually utilize them quite nicely. And the perfect thing about that is they don't actually compete for food. Each animal that you've been seeing here will eat something slightly different. The giraffe eating something completely different to the zebra. The giraffe eating the leaves on the trees, where the zebra's feeding on the grass. And the impala will be eating grass and leaves different times of the year. But they will be picking different species, and obviously the impala won't be able to eat as high up as the giraffe, so that they're actually not competing directly at all. And different species in different parts of the grass from the zebra. Hi Angie, and I'm sure a few other people wanting to know about an update on the giraffe with the limp. We haven't seen hide nor hair of her. We haven't actually been that side where we last saw her in Triple M. But if we do see her, or if we do hear of anything, we will definitely let everybody know, because we know how worried everybody is. But it could just be that she banged her wrist and it's now healed. It's just taken a few weeks to heal. You never know. It looked awkward, but it just depends on what that injury was. And if it was something like that and she just banged it badly, then it could just have been a problem for a little while and started healing. It could be that we come across her again and we just don't recognise her. Or it could be that, unfortunately, that injury has slowed her down so much that maybe lions have taken the opportunity and actually taken her down. So anything is possible in nature. There really is some beautiful light on the zebra. You can see the stallions not too bothered about them, each other being in close proximity to each other. And quite often, if they know each other, they'll often go up and greet each other. I've seen that a couple of times. And there seems to be this understanding that this is my family group and that's your family group, and there's no fighting over it. As far as zebras go, they're quite a relaxed species. Aha. Well, welcome back everybody. Unfortunately it looks like there was quite a big delay on the stream, so unfortunately we have cut the experience with the zebra short a little bit, I think. I don't think you missed too much. I think we were leaving towards the end of where you saw. There was a couple of questions I think that maybe I answered there that please just repeat again. But we caught up with the Garrigang, and I know people really want to see the Garrigang. And got little Genesis here playing with Evelyn. An absolute treasure. So if we can, yeah. Is it Silent Sydney? Oh. Silent Sydney wanted to know how old the giraffe lived to, and that was about 20-25. And the oldest on record in the wild was about 28. So, hi Silent Sydney, and hi to Linda. Linda was wanting to know something. Linda wanting to know what the purpose of the horns or the ossicones were for the giraffe. And the males, it will be sort of defense for fighting, maybe landing a heavier blow, because if you have a weight behind a small area, it's going to have a bigger impact. But then it doesn't explain why the females have horns, because they don't fight. So no one's really too sure, and it could be from a long time ago, it could be just residual, and maybe over the hundreds of years they might actually decrease in size, in the females especially. But no one's entirely sure why they have horns. I've not heard of any other reason. That's Shirley there with the little Genesis. Hi Anne in Alberta. Good to hear from you, Anne. Wondering when mating season is. It depends on the species, and it does depend on what's happening actually in the bush. So lots to do with the changing of nutrients within the grass and the trees, and that might actually kickstart changes in the chemicals in the animals' bodies, and that in turn kickstarts the breeding season. Thinking especially with the impala, shortening of the day and the change in nutrients actually kickstarts that whole process. But with the vultures are breeding at the moment because if you think about it, this is the best time for vultures, because remember, vultures feed off of carcasses, and during the winter time there's not as much water available, maybe not as much food available, so animals are going to be struggling a little bit during the winter time, and that's when there's going to be more carcasses. So that makes sense for the vultures to breed this time of year, because there's going to be a lot more food available for the chick, and hopefully closer to home, closer to the nest. They don't have to go wandering far and wide for it. But you'll find most of the antelope that have breeding seasons will give birth around December, January time. So depending on the gestation period, you'll have different periods through the course of the year when the breeding season occurs. Now we're actually seeing a small breeding season in the impala. The impala are rutting for the females that were missed the first time round, around March, April, May time. So the young from this period of time is going to be around February time, February, March. So remember, we did have some late babies this year, and it'll be from this very, very small breeding season. It won't last that long. It's just those females that got missed the first time round. So you're looking about 6.5, 7 months gestation. Yep, go ahead. Hi, Diane. Wanting to know, why do the zebras have such wide bellies? Oh, it's for other people in the chat. Oh, okay, thanks, Diane. She's asking on behalf of some people in the chat. Zebras have quite a poor digestive system, so they have quite a big build-up of wind in their system, and gases, and it's actually quite evident when they run, because they let that gas go very loudly. Shall we follow them a little bit, see where they're going and what they're up to? So yes, the belly, and even if you look at rhinos and elephants who also have got this poor digestive system, they're actually known as hindgut fermenters, and they do most of the digestion of the cellulose in between the large and small intestine. Now, for us, that little area is known as an appendix, and in some humans they've actually been born without appendix now because we don't use it. But in animals, the herbivores, especially the hindgut fermenters, they do still use, and in them the appendix is called the cecum, and that's where the digestion for the zebra, the rhino, the elephant occurs, for the cellulose at least. They're certainly on the move this morning. I'm going to try and roll forward a bit. Hi, Sherry. Good morning to you. Wanting to know about the birds on the zebras. And what are they called? They're called the oxpeckers. And they're red-billed oxpeckers. We do have a species in South Africa called the yellow-billed, but we don't see them here. We'll be very lucky to see one. But they do occur, but you have to be very lucky to see them. But the species that we have here is the red-billed oxpecker, and you don't just find them on the zebra, you'll find them on many herbivores, from wildebeest to rhinos to impala to what else have we got? Buffalo. So all sorts of herbivores, large and small. And what they're doing, excuse me, is looking for ticks, and it's the blood inside the ticks that they're looking for the most. And that's why, even though it is a mutual relationship, both parties get something out of it. The oxpecker gets food and the animal gets rid of the ticks. It is thought that sometimes the oxpeckers aren't as squeaky clean as what we think, and that sometimes they can actually feed off the blood of a wound on an animal and maybe keep that wound open, although they'll keep it clean, but they will keep it open so that they can actually eat the blood. And they also eat mucus and earwax, all those wonderful things. And in fact the larger yellow-billed oxpecker, can you see just past the tree there? It tends to eat more ticks than the red-billed oxpecker does. The red-billed tends to go for more of these body fluids than its cousin. And where they actually overlap, that's one of the reasons why they can overlap, because they go for slightly different things. Or they'll make use of different things. But where the red-billed oxpecker is on its own, then it's going to be utilising the ticks as well. Going up into the tree there. I'm going to try one last time just to see. I'm not going to get too close. I'm just going to try and swing around. Oops, she says. Try again. No laughing, Seb. Interesting question, Mary Jane. In Florida. And why is it that hoof mammals seem to have better care on their feet than maybe domestic animals do? And I think that's got a lot to do with the amount that they walk. I mean, domestic animals will have maybe a field that they get turned out in, so they might not actually get as rougher areas as much as what the wild animals do. I mean, the wild animals can wander far and wide, they'll wander over the roads, they'll wander over rocks. And they'll also go onto areas that are quite dry, especially during the winter time, so that's going to be a good opportunity for the nails to, essentially the nails, the hooves, to wear down. So I think it's just a lot more wear and tear in that sense, you know, there's a lot more friction for them, I suppose, than if you think about domestic animals. I mean, horses will be on a nice green field usually, or, you know, a nice paddock, and maybe not on a hard stand or something too much. I think that's probably the main difference there. Obviously, I've got England in mind, and I'm just thinking nice green grasses and soft ground all the time because of all the rain. So I'm just thinking of the huge cattle farms in Australia and America, and I doubt they would have the same problems as maybe the domestic cows in a small field, or maybe domestic horses or something, because they're going to also be wandering far and wide, and especially on the ranches. And also the horses have the shoes, don't they, which is going to be protecting the hooves from the wear and tear. Oh yes, which reminds me, a few people asking about Karula's son's name. We actually didn't have the meeting yesterday. It was supposed to happen yesterday and it didn't happen. So we're going to hopefully have a name by today, and we'll definitely let everybody know about it, because we know how much everybody wants to hear what name has been decided. So we'll definitely let you know via Facebook and on the Juma webpage. And if you are on this, I think we're going to leave the Gary gang there. And they're running off again.
They're moving because there's so few of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're up a tree, they watch for a while. They're not as relaxed as if there was a troop of...
I think it's also the lack of a big male as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Gordy's big, but he's not as big as what Tankman was. Yeah, Mar just mentioning about how the baboons are moving, and they are. I haven't seen them. I haven't really seen them past quarantine because they seem still a little bit edgy, but not as bad as this. But yeah, up a tree, having a look, especially as they're going into the dip as well. They're just having a look around, seeing if there's any predators around. Oh, I think Donna was asking what... Hi Donna, good morning to you. I think Donna was asking what tree were the baboons sitting in, and I think that was the marula tree when we first had them. And they go through the dip. I'm just gonna hang back a little bit and leave them, because obviously they'll need to listen out for what's going on as well. Just hang back here. You can get one last look at them as they go around the corner. Especially with the two youngsters. Unfortunately, for those of you who don't know, unfortunately Tankman died, and they think he might have eaten something, but he was showing signs of having eaten something that he shouldn't have done. And sadly, he did die. They put him down, and he's gone for toxicology reports, or to have a report done on him. So the only male that's with them now is Gordy, and he's kind of taken control of the troop. As I say, he's not a big male, and I think, you know, they are very wary because of it, because the males will protect the troop from other baboons as well as predators. And you can see they move around on the ground a lot during the day. They'll use the safety of the trees at night, but the fact that they move around to forage for food on the ground does make them vulnerable, and you'll often see them standing on the back legs so they can actually see for a little bit further, and utilising termite mounds and trees so they can actually have a look around and see what's going on. And they are a small troop anyway. I mean, you're looking at the three ladies, the two babies, and one male Gordy. And you guys are going to be having a dung quiz. So to get you in the mood, let me see some dung here. And actually, we might as well do the baboon track and show you the nice baboon track. If I can actually park, so you can see it nicely. That one's very nice. If I can get there. Going to be able to see from there if you drop the camera off the side. Okay. Might need to just put the internal mic up.
Maybe.
Okay. Can you hear me if I shout a little bit? Hello? Sept, can you hear me or not? Are bars going up and down at all?
Yeah.
Oh, they are. Okay.
But I don't know if they can hear you. I don't know that.
Okay, well I'm hoping. Okay, so here we have, quite nicely, we've seen the baboons running down the road, so we can see quite nicely the outline of the foot. So you can see what would be the big toe, our equivalent of the big toe, the back pad, and the 4 other toes. And over the top, underneath it, so it's actually put the back foot over the front foot. But there's the long fingers of the front foot. Actually, this one was nicer, this one was better, I think. Hopefully see it side by side there. I'm able to see this one. So the back foot with the thumb, the 4 fingers, and then the front foot with the long fingers and the thumb there. So that is the baboon track. Remember, they walk like we do on our foot, and they walk on the hand as well. So what you're seeing there, can you see that? So what you're seeing are the long fingers and then the thumb. So it's the same thing here. I'm hoping. Okay, so I'm hoping you've heard all of that. Just going to get confirmation from Sebastian. While I'm doing that, here's a warmer-upper. So, couldn't really give you a quiz on the baboon since they've just ran down the road. But whose dung is this? And you can send your answers to questions@juma.com. And put in the subject title whose dung you think that is. We're going to take it with us so that we can discuss it along the way as we go looking for other animals. But just to give you a warm-up, you're not going to get marks for this. This is just to see how you're going to fare. So just in case you couldn't hear me, what I was doing is pointing out the back foot of the baboon. And then the front foot or the front hand. Because the back foot, they walk just like we do. They use all of the back foot. Did you hear something?
The baboon barking.
I thought I heard something else. Maybe I was just hearing things. Oh, that's why. What I was trying to show you is the back foot and then the long fingers of the front. Seems we're here at the sausage tree. See, I keep wanting to say Kaigella for its Latin name. How do you say it?
Kigelia.
Kigelia. Like, I kept thinking it's
Nigella.
Exactly. That's how I remembered it. Nigella's sausage tree.
Kigelia.
So its Latin name is pronounced Gigalia, and it's Africana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gigalia africana. Just let me know. Could you hear what I was talking about, the track? Could you hear me at all? Ah, okay. Starlings flying in. Tell you what, we did have final control. Oh, there is a sunbird. I saw a sunbird.
I can see it.
We had a white-bellied sunbird sitting on the windowsill of final control yesterday. Keep sitting there. Definitely some of my favourite birds, the
Just run
sunbirds.
away.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
No. Cape Starling.
They're the cheats.
Sorry?
They're the cheats. They're the ones that tear the flowers out.
Oh, is it? I've never actually watched them eating a flower before, but Mark's saying that they cheat, they tear the flower open. Instead of
Flower that
actually-
gives the nectar.
Yeah, so they can actually get to the nectar. There's quite a few
They're going for it now.
oh, there we go. But there are quite a few more flowers even from about 3 days ago.
Yeah. The leaves are a lot bigger too.
Ah, sunbird's back. Right on the tip.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there's an interesting one. See if we get that
Yeah.
one.
Did we manage to get the colours of it?
I think so. Just for a second. Where has he gone?
He's gone to the top flower. Oh, nice. I think that's a lifer for me.
Yeah.
Let's see who comes back.
I've got
I don't
it
know if you
again now
I don't
for
know
a
if you
second.
saw the colours on it. But I need to check it because I think that is a lifer for me. Just hold on, Seb. Just hold on, Seb.
Where's he gone? Right there, next flower. Oh, beautiful. In the light, but full colour.
Oh, awesome. I hope somebody got screenshots.
Oh,
Stunning.
should be.
Because of that.
Yeah. Where's Marika?
I see.
Marika. More purple maybe.
All I know is I've not seen that sunbird before. I've got it down to 2 species. Apparently, apparently a lot of it is to do with the size difference there. So I think your one is right. Fantastic.
I'm impressed with Paul. I got a good
Okay.
couple of good shots of it.
Awesome. So I'm hoping people have got good screenshots. So, you've got 2 things now. Who dung it? And what species of sunbird. So I think we had a few answers on the dung, so let's start with the dung. If we can as we start driving around Juma Game Reserve and see what else we can go and find. Just to let you know as well, Tandy has been seen. Tandy, known as Saseka, one of Karula's daughters. She has been seen in Torchwood, so unfortunately we can't go and view her. And it sounds like she has been joined by her cub. Her little boy. Mother and son doing well by the sounds of it. Where should we go? Where should we go? Let's go Treehouse Dam.
The baboons would be there by now.
Cool. So Seb, when you're ready, good to go. Bets. Nice guess, Bets. And good to hear from you. Good to hear you joining in. Very, very close with Kudu, but not quite. And I'll show you why just now. Anna saying giraffe. Also very close, but not quite there. William, zebra. Nope. The zebra looks like this. Stand by 1 second. That's zebra dung. There you go, William. So kidney shaped. And when you break it open, it's quite fibrous inside. Quite
One place.
large fibre. Yeah, this side. So that's the shape of it. Quite large. And then the inside. This, you should be able to see little balls. And on the inside, if I can break one off, you can have a look on the inside. Quite small particles on the inside. Quite big size difference as well. But this, how it's come out, should be the big giveaway. So there's a hint. You see that long enough? I just suddenly realised I'm just throwing it away. Okay?
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay. Gilly, antelope dung. Yep, definitely right on the antelope, but we need a species. Amber also saying zebra. Mandy saying buffalo. Comes out more like a cow pat, Mandy.
Gee, there's not much else to guess now.
There isn't, is there? We're going around the houses this morning. Yeah, buffalo there in the road. Buffalo dung. Sorry, who was saying? Kay and Alan. Alan, no. I think Kay was saying zebra. Kay and Alan. And baboons. Nope. Baboons actually is resembling closer to human. And I definitely wouldn't pick it up. So there's also a clue. Do I pick it up or not? Destiny saying giraffe. Again, very close, but remember it drops about 2 meters, so when it hits the ground it tends to disperse. Very rarely you'll find it clumping like that. If it clumps like that, giraffe has got a big problem. Sally saying waterbuck. Not quite Sally. Oh dear, everyone's a bit rusty. We've got everything but at the moment. Oh, a little steenbok. Oh, there it goes. It's like, oh, getting spotted. It's quite happy as long as you drive past it. As soon as you stop, it's like, oh, been seen. Any more guesses? Any more guesses? Oh. Bobby G! Oh dear. Bobby G. Not quite. Ah, okay. Better with Nyala, Bobby. Bobby's saying rhino. This is handy. Why can't it be like this all the time? Bobby, this is rhino dung. So quite a big size difference again. And you can see again on the inside, very large pieces. So whoever's been saying an antelope, you have been seeing the size, and at least you've seen the size of the pellets. So it does give it away the fact that because they're so small, it is from a ruminant, because the ruminant gets as much goodness out of their food as possible. Whereas rhino, again, very poor digestive system, they don't get out as much goodness. So there's a lot of waste, or a lot of goodness that's wasted in here. And that's one of the reasons why it's so large, is because a lot of it gets missed. Whereas the antelope make good use of what they eat. That's the size difference. And also you can have a look how much there is. This is a rhino's toilet, a midden. You can see that piece there, you've got two different colours. You've got very, very light, which is very old, and then you've also got very dark, which is a little bit fresher. It hasn't had a chance to disintegrate over a long time. And then even at the back you've got very large round balls, very dark as they're eating grass. Elephants, remember, they're eating a lot of bark and roots and things like that, so they have a lot of tannin. So you're going to be finding elephant dung more reddish brown in colour. And if you have a look inside, it's going to be leaves and twigs and things like that. So our mystery dung, no one's got it yet. But at least we're finding the other answers on the road. Sarah, saying Yala. Not quite Sarah. A dick. Nope, dick's much smaller, and we don't get dicks here. So that's also another thing. If you're not sure about whose dung it might be, even if you go out walking and you're looking at dung, and all these things that I'm talking about can actually help you to identify whose dung it might be. So actually looking, obviously with sticks and things like that, I'm not saying go and pick it up, but if you have a look inside, see what's actually in the contents of the dung, then that should help you. And knowing what animals you find in that area, the habitat, that will also help you to rule out other animals. And obviously keeping in mind that other animals...
Stop, yeah.
You're looking at the kudu on the wall. Excuse me. So yeah, so knowing what animals are in the area can also help you. But nice try. At least you had an antelope. Destiny, good to hear from you. Waterbuck. Nope. Not waterbuck. Who's saying that? Liz saying it must be Impala then. Nope, not quite. Remember, we've done some dung spitting competitions with Impala. There's no way I can get that in my mouth.
With Andrew. Thanks very much, Andrew.
Is that Glenn? Cam Miller, Diker. Or Daker. Nope, too big for a Daker. Looking much smaller. Let's go and see if we can get a little bit closer. Daya also saying Nyala. Nope, not Nyala. Joy saying Impala. Too big. Everyone's saying everything else except the right answer. But at least we haven't had any carnivores yet. Who is that? Randy. Randy saying kudu. Not quite, Randy. Frank also saying Impala. But I am impressed that we're having all the antelope. Also, who's saying Impala? There's a couple of people. Ooh, swallows. Okay, you're breaking up a little bit there. Let me just park here so we can see the kudu and hopefully have a slightly better radio signal too. Four male kudu, beautiful. Karen saying kudu, not quite. If you can maybe just send through after Randy's guess because you're breaking up a little bit. I think there was a few kudu answers there. Okay, we'll do the bird just now. Laurie Nyala. Laurie and Patty Nyala. Nope. Amanda Impala. I think everyone's forgotten about it because it's been so long since we've seen it. Although we did see a couple. You saw a couple, didn't you, the other day?
There's 2 bulls around at the moment. That'll give it away.
Gilly, kudu. Ah, Liz. Liz got the correct answer. So Liz is the first one back with the right answer. Liz, well done. Well done.
It's brown.
I think that might have been, was it Liz Brown? Oh, Lynn. Lynn in Canada. Well done, Lynn. Lynn getting the right answer. Alan Waterbuck. Nope. Sally. Sally Slick saying Steenbok. Nope, too big. Laurie Waterbuck. Nope. Sarah saying Reedbuck. Interesting one, but no. Daker or kudu, Karen. And Linda Brown. Sorry, Linda. Not kudu. Okay, to put you out of your misery. That's the close. Oh, 5 more, and that's it. Hippo, Susie. No, definitely not hippo. Looking more like rhino there. Laura Bushbuck. Nope. Binky, kudu. And Impala. And Roz. Roz, also correct answer. So, to put you out your misery. Oh, Ross and Lynn. Correct answer was wildebeest. 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 Well done, everybody, and thank you for guessing. And for those of you who didn't get it right, better luck next time. And this is why we're doing a bit of a recap before we start with the quiz. And I shall post up and get the guys to tell you when we're going to start. It's either Sunday or Monday. We'll see how we go. No. Ah, okay, we've got Marcy. Just tell me who else got it right out of those ones. RC, Cheryl. Oh. Marula Wood. Oh, Marla, sorry. I'm thinking Marula Wood. Marla. Stacey. Yeah, I'm just looking at the ram. The Impala ram was running. Oh, another ram was following him. Stacey, Laurie. Well done. You guys got it right with wildebeest. So. Beautiful knobwood in bloom. See, the knobwoods are knobwood. Oh. I'll put my teeth back in. Knobwood, no.
No, knobwood's different.
Not knob. Knobthorn. Why? I'm stuck on Marula Wood. There we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to combine a couple of things. My brain just wasn't getting put into gear. So knobthorn, there we go, in bloom.
There were sunbirds up there, there it is.
Ah, there we go, yeah.
Probably the same.
I think so. Oh, he's still there. So what answers did we get back for our sunbird? And hopefully, oh, come back.
Two males chasing.
Yeah. Just while we're on sunbirds, there we go. Penny was saying either a Marico or a black. And I'm more inclined to go with the Marico. Marico. Amber also saying amethyst. Black is also known as amethyst. But it's definitely not, no. No, I know an amethyst.
Oh, buffalo just arrived.
Yeah, I saw that. There's three coming down to the dam. I think someone else had Marico or purple banded. I think that was somewhere in amongst all the dung questions, or the dung answers. But I also got it down to How do you say it? Because I'm calling it Marico.
Mariko.
Mariko. Mariko. Don't know why I managed to say things differently to everybody else.
I
suppose it's potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
No. It's
Yes.
Tara or Tara.
So Mariko. Because I was also looking at the purple banded, but the Mariko is larger than the purple banded, and this one does seem quite a large sunbird compared to other sunbirds that I've seen. And saying RC. That was it. So RC saying Mariko or purple banded. So it's saying in the book the Mariko is larger than the purple banded sunbird with a longer, thicker, more decurved bill than the purple banded.
Let me see the book a sec.
Oh, Rosie. Well done, Rosie. Rosie also saying wildebeest in the Dung quiz. I'm proud of you, Rosie.
Can you see your book, please?
Huh? Oh, I was just having a quick look. Who was that? Bets and Sarah also came through with wildebeest. I think there's a slight lag on the emails.
You said it now, so now they said
No, I believe people are actually genuine. No, I do accept them because there is a lag on the emails. So apart from that, with the different bill size, there doesn't seem to be. But there does seem to be quite a big size difference from 12 centimetres to 10 centimetres and 8 to 14 grams compared to the purple banded, which is 6 to 9 grams. So quite a big size difference there. And I'll show you the picture just now. Stations 3 in Yari at Treehouse Dam. Duggar boys, all buffalo males. Probably going to come down and spend the day down here at Treehouse Dam. I did see the wader quickly that we've been umming and ahhing about, very, very briefly. It flew over to the other side and I haven't seen it back again. So I think we need to have a third look at that one. But I'm leaning more towards it being the wood sandpiper because of the size of it and yellow legs, whereas the green shank has green legs and it's fairly spotted on its back. But I would like to try and catch it on camera properly again till we make that final decision. But I think that's what it is.
It's less likely to be the purple
The
band.
purple banded, yeah. I'm thinking
Because
it's
of
more
habitat
the
as well.
Mariko.
Purple banded's more coastal and moist woodland. This is
Oh, I didn't get as
drier.
far as that. Yeah.
And Mariko's more drier country than the purple banded.
Yeah. Yeah, I got as far as the common resident in woodland. Yeah. I would say the Mariko. Just goes to show habitat can help, even with IDing birds. Alrighty boys, I think we're going to love you and leave you. Enjoy your day of wallowing. So Marico sunbird and wildebeest dung. I'll quickly show you the picture here. The picture can actually show you the beautiful colours, but I think Mark actually got a couple of nice views. Just goes to show how close they are. There's the purple banded on the right and the Marico on the left. Just goes to show how close they are. Okay. Oh, and the dung, just to show you quickly. Wildebeest dung very characteristically does this. It clumps together, even during the drier season, although if it's very, very dry you might see the dung sort of spreading apart, but otherwise this is very characteristic of the wildebeest. And in wetter seasons you may find maybe kudu dung banding together like this, but say not to the extent that it does in the wildebeest. So there you go, that's the wildebeest dung. And usually found in a midden as well, especially during the breeding season. Especially for the males. They like to roll in it. Apparently it smells good for the females, attracts them. It's their eau de cologne. So glad we humans don't partake in that one. Although they won't roll in it when it's wet, they'll only roll in it when it's dry. Just want to show you this quickly. Sorry. Okay. So just to show you the difference with the elephant, you can see the colour in the elephant dung, much redder and sticks. And I'm sure if I look closer I should be able to find some leaves in there. But again, a lot more fibrous and coarse material than... Oh, there we go, there's a leaf. Bit of leaf in there. Just there. Okay. Where should we go? Where should we go? What was that? Something dropped. Never a good sign. So we're looking out for tracks, any tracks to follow, or any fresh dung. She saw the buffalo dung on the road and thought they might be down here.
You now found a new civet midden.
Oh, you found a new civet midden?
Yeah.
Nice, you have to tell me where.
You have to find it.
Oh, I have to find it.
You're cold.
Hmm?
At the moment you're cold.
I'm cold, I'm very cold.
Very cold, yeah.
Looks like hippo. Remnants of hippo dung on the tree. The reason why I'm saying that is because it's quite far up the tree. And hippos tend to scatter their dung with their tail. So whenever they go to the toilet, they actually swish their tails so much that the dung spreads. So you may find dung in balls, but more likely you'll find it scattered around. So that's one of the ways to distinguish hippo dung from elephant or rhino dung. But the balls are generally a lot smaller as well than rhino or elephant. I've never seen it that far up before. That's quite an achievement. So I hope you're writing all this down. I expect 100% next time. But no, I mean, this is one of the things I really started to enjoy as a guide. And I'm still learning. I mean, there's still things that I look and go, oops.
5 kudu bulls.
Huh?
There's 5 bulls.
Nice, 5 kudu bulls. Like the marking on the tree. I actually totally didn't think about the buffalo, and this is one thing you do have to think outside the box for. And sometimes you get so much into the routine of seeing things and you're starting to work out, hold on a minute, habitat's not quite right, although it can pass through because there's the right habitat that side and there's the right habitat this side. Nature's quiz. I love it. A little cheat that you might want to take down: how to tell some of the bush antelope from the grassland antelope. And if you watch the kudu cross the road, you'll see quite nicely that she's been placing her back leg or back foot pretty much where she placed her front foot. And that's to reduce the sound that they make as they move through the bush. So the bush antelope, like the kudu, the daker, the nyala, you'll find most of the time in this thick vegetation. If you think back over the few drives that you may have done with us or over the years, how often we've seen kudu out in the open. It's not very often. Same with bushbuck, same with nyala, same with the dakers. And this is exactly what I was saying. Sometimes you can find them in those open areas because they might be crossing those open areas, but very, very rarely. You'll more likely find them in their favoured habitat. So that's the thing to watch out for on their tracks, is a slight edge of the front foot and then the back foot going directly over the top. And if you think about when you're walking through the bush and you're making a lot of sound and you might break a twig, if you're walking with your foot just behind the other, which is what most animals do, you make a lot more sound, especially hoofed animals. And if you listen to impala, they make a racket compared to kudu. If I can actually roll forward, you might be able to see a couple of impala mixed in with the kudu to actually see the size difference. So it's not going to help me now. There you go. This female here, there's a male impala walking directly behind her there. There we go.
Sorry,
That one there.
yeah,
you just...
see where their feet are.
Oh no, I was just looking at the size difference. They've gone... Oh, there's another one there, look. There, he's standing next to a calf just at the back. Can you see him? Hopefully gives you an idea. As I say, the impala are quite noisy compared to his antelope, which obviously you outweigh them. And size-wise, you can see they're absolutely dwarfed by the kudu. And that's because of this special adaptation that the kudu have. So if they break a twig, they can't break it in the same place twice. Now, impala are the funny ones. Impala will eat both grass and leaves, so you'll find impala either in this particular habitat or out on the open plains. And that's what makes them one of the most successful antelope. And they have to be, because anything and everything eats impala. From snakes, eagles, jackals, right through to lions, leopards, wild dog. You name any carnivore at some stage of an impala's life, the likelihood of it being eaten by any carnivore is quite high. Sorry, lady. Sebastian might be jumping up and down now. So sorry, Sebastian. Quite an interesting one to point out. I think there was a question, I can't remember what it was, just before we were looking at the kudu. What was it? Didn't catch the name. Was it Donna? Emma. Sorry, Emma. Good morning to you. All the way over there in the wonderful Emerald Island. I still haven't gone there, actually. One of these days, I'd love to visit Ireland. We're wanting to know if we have any rare and endangered animals here, and we do. Birds and animals. Wild dog is top on the list, or one of the ones on the top of the list. And cheetah also. I think there's probably about 400 cheetah left in Kruger National Park. Maybe Penny can help with that, or anybody else who wants to Google it. But I think cheetah, fairly low numbers, but that's also because they went through quite a dramatic population crash around 10,000 years ago, and the numbers are still trying to recover. But also loss of habitat does not help them. But what they're trying to do is actually open up corridors for cheetah to be able to go and visit other populations to try and increase the genetic variation, try and help the species. And I know there's a lot of captive cheetah who are being bred to try and release back into the wild to try and help the population. Black rhino, another one, and unfortunately white rhino is being heavily threatened, but any species of rhino across the world. But these last couple of years, poaching of white rhino and black rhino have become extortionate. It's just taken off, and the fact that the problem being there is still such a high demand for the horn. That is where the problem lies. If there was no demand for the rhino horn, there'd be no reason to poach the rhinos, and it's big money. I think it was like £10,000 per ounce. It's more expensive than gold, and the sad thing is it doesn't work. You know, there's better things out on the market, and one of the big problems, I think it was Elle Macpherson said she was using a cream with rhino horn in it because she believed it made her stay young. And you can imagine the outcry. And I think we're having a rhino midden starting. This was an old rhino midden, and it looks like someone's been using it again. Possibly shorthorn. So I think she did actually retract that and apologise and said she didn't know how endangered rhinos were. But the sad thing is, if there's people, famous people as well, who are using products with rhino horn in it, what chance do we have? We need to spread the word.
Rhino tracks.
Yeah, I saw the rhino tracks. Fresh rhino tracks. It might have gone into the drainage line or carried on towards Twin Dams. And it is going to be National Rhino Day, 22nd of September. Hopefully we'll be able to head out and find some rhino on that day. be having a fireside chat as well. And I've got a very big soft spot for rhino. And it's a shame because a lot of people look at them and think that they aggressive creatures and you know they do look quite fearsome, but they're actually wonderful creatures, and if you treat them with respect they'll actually let you observe their lives.
Duck.
A duck? What, the ibis? Or further back? Oh yeah, the duck.
Is it a goose? Small.
Yeah, it is a bit small. It's park here. Ah, it is a goose. Egyptian goose and hardy-dar ibis. So if you've been hearing the hardy-dar, hardy-dar, I can't do it. They say the name though. Herman used to do it very well. Actually, Sebastian doesn't do it too badly either, does he?
Hey, what's the other little bird?
Where are you on? Ah, there we go. Three-banded plover there too. I can't do it. The boys use it, hold the nose and then hit the throat. And make the sound of a hardy-dar. But you may have heard them around by Gowrie Dam.
The hardy-dar's not the boys.
Well, yeah, the hardy-dar is not the boys. Be a bit difficult. Herman's down in Cape Town. You see them probing the soft mud for any insects beneath the surface of the water, and they'll also probe the ground at the ground just away from the water's edge as well. And you'll often find them in gardens. They're actually known as Santon seagulls back in Joburg. That's their nickname, because it is as if you're somewhere where you get a lot of seagulls. There's just hundreds of them, and you'll often find them in the gardens, probing the nice and watered lawns. But if you look very closely, you'll actually see in the sunlight, they might look a bit drab now, but once they turn into sunlight, they've got this beautiful shock of pink, that iridescent colour down the side of the wing. It's actually quite pretty. And actually, if you do take the time to look at a hardy-dar ibis, they are actually quite pretty birds, especially when you do get them in the sun. I think we need to check the drainage line for our rhino.
Yeah, English sighting, living one station on left.
Talking about Tandy in Torchwood. So if anyone's just joined us, Tandy, who we know as the Seika, is in Torchwood with her cub. Karula's only surviving grandchild from her daughter's. It's very sad, but it just goes to show how successful Karula being female leopard, our resident female leopard, just goes to show how successful she is, having raised 2 litters successfully and getting her other 2 cubs to 10 months old already. It's very impressive. And her daughters had 4 cubs between them and only 1 survives. Birds, other birds, actually just going back to Emma's question from Ireland, asking about endangered animals. And the ground hornbill is on the list of endangered species, and they actually have different categories, so depending on how many have been seen in certain areas, they get categorized on the IUCN, the red data list from the IUCN. Should try it all the way in here. Let's see. And I think they're the one up from endangered, actually. Had it written down. Sorry? Yeah, it looks like they're going in here. No.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you said no. Vulnerable. That's what they're classified as. Vulnerable. So, meaning if nothing's done now, then they're going to move on to the next stage and become endangered through loss of habitat, mainly, and nesting sites. Nesting sites are a big problem for the ground hornbills. They're huge birds, almost like giant turkeys. Oh, there was a question, wasn't there, about kudu and nyala. Sorry, Sebastian. Been in one ear and out the other. Who was that from? Where do you usually find the kudu and nyala? Joy! Hi, Joy! Good morning to you. Where's Joy from? Oh, ooh, I see an antelope there, though. I think. I'm just seeing things again. Good morning to you, Joy. I'm wondering where you see, what's the differences with the kudu? Haha, I did. The kudu and nyala, and where do you usually find each one? And as luck would have it, we could have a nyala bull here, right next to a tamboti tree. I think the nyalas, especially the males, are probably the easiest to distinguish between the nyala and the kudu. Because they're this beautiful charcoal black, and they've got those pantaloons, the stockings of tan on the legs. But the transition period from when they're young to as they're going into adult is a little bit more difficult. They do look like a female. The females are more of a chestnut colour, and they do have the stripes on the body as well as spots. The kudu generally are more grey, sometimes a tan colour, but usually more grey in colour. You may or may not see a difference on screen, the size-wise. So size is a little bit difficult to really explain to you, but size-wise, the kudu are much larger. And they generally will only have stripes. I don't recall ever seeing a kudu with spots. Huge ears. I mean, if you see the ears on this male, they're big, but they're not as big as the kudu we were watching earlier. But kudu and nyala you'll find in similar sort of habitats. I mean, kudu would be right at home here. So they'll be eating different species of, or some different species of plant as well as similar species of plant. I mean, both will eat acacias, highly nutritious food. I'm just trying to think of what I've seen kudu eat and not Nyala. Do you know anything, any dietary different that you can think off the top of your head?
Not really,
So I'm
both
sure
of
there
them are
will
mixed
be.
feeders.
So there will be a few things that one will utilise and not the other.
What's you looking at?
The hoopoe
Oh,
in the tree.
Tambuti flower.
The greenwood hoopoe.
Red flower. Okay.
We can hear the call of the greenwood hoopoes. Used to be known as the red-billed. You can see that beautiful red bill. See, to me, the beginning of the call of the hoopoe sounds a bit like a kingfisher, the laughing. Arrow-marked babblers. A babbling call. Sorry, not the kingfisher, the kookaburra. The start of the greenwood hoopoe's call definitely sounds like the starting of the kookaburra. If anyone's heard the laughing kookaburra, it kind of does that wah, wah kind of vibe before it starts calling. It's very similar to them. And I think actually the greenwood hoopoes and the babblers can sound fairly similar, but if you actually do listen to them, the greenwood hoopers are a little bit lower in their call. And for me, it's a little bit more uniform, whereas the babblers do tend to just go...
Babble.
Yeah, they babble, like me. I'm a babbler. I'm seeing a tambuti tree just before the greenwood
Wood hoopers are in
hoopoo.
there, but they just keep moving as soon as I get close to them.
Ah, okay. I thought you were trying to find leaves or something.
I was showing the flowers of the tambuti.
Yeah. And then another, I'll call it a knobwood. Knobthorn. Ooh. I thought I could fit through. Come on, Mr. Rhino. I think he went over to Leadwood actually. So let's try Leadwood. I think he might have just cut straight through. Can you just repeat Alan's question, because you were breaking up a little bit there. Alan had a question about hippo. Oh. This was the way out.
It is there past that yard.
Is it?
Around the quarry.
Oh, this is not the way out I was expecting though. Oh well. Keep going then. Keep going.
On the side, the side.
How am I doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna break the car. Oh look, flowers. Kind of. Well, nearly. Haven't come out yet. The magic worry. Or have I missed the flowers? Have I missed the flowers? No, they're just about to flower.
They've been flowering. This is still bursting.
Yeah.
But I have found a few guaris. That one's got flowers in front of it.
This one here.
Must be.
So I haven't seen the flowers on the guaris. They're not dead. Well, they ain't that colour.
The bonnet was full of them yesterday. Oh, here's a, I mean, they're tiny. Oh, flowers,
Yeah.
but they're...
Guari bush. Magic guari. Great toothbrush bush. So that means the berries are going to be coming out very soon. Can you eat magic guari berries?
Yeah, they're not very
You can.
palatable.
So no, the blue guari. I think it was the Pedi people would actually take the blue guari fruits and make an alcoholic beverage from it.
Yeah, it's about the closest I can get to that flower.
Oh, nice.
I wonder if I do that there.
Ah, there we go. Oh yes, it is white. That's what was confusing me, because I'm thinking, I'm sure they're supposed to be. Because I know the
Keep still. Now the wind's blowing.
But if we have any new viewers on board, we have Shangaan in this area. Most of the guides that you'll find in this area are Shangaan. But where I used to work up in the Waterberg, I worked with a lot of Pedi people, and the Sepedi people live up in the Waterberg and that type of area. And it's been quite interesting, especially learning from Patrick, who was also guiding here for Wild Earth, and hearing the similarities and differences between the two cultures. As I say, the Sepedi people, the blue guari is the most abundant guari where I was working, and the magic guari has got this wonderful undulating side to the leaf, whereas the blue guari, it's quite thick. I mean, I take one of these, you'd actually get the leaf probably about that thick, maybe that long, depending on the area you were in, but something along those lines, and you wouldn't get this wavy edge. And the leaf itself, if I can turn it around that way, would be much thicker. I mean, that's quite thin. But the blue guari would be much thicker. A nice waxy coating, as all the guaris do.
Oh, we'll find a blue guari.
I haven't seen one.
There's one right outside FC.
Is there? I've never noticed it. It's got this
Tau guari.
bluish... Yeah, no, Tau guari I've seen. The Tau guari's got the brown... No, it's different. The Tau guari's got the brown hairs underneath. The blue guari's got this grey-blue hint. To it. Very good for when you're firefighting, because the wax layer gives a resistance and it holds the moisture, so it actually stops the do I not need to follow through here? No, go out here. Yeah, it stops the leaf from burning. Very, very handy when you're fighting a fire as a fire eater. Oh, I was supposed to go there, wasn't I? Oh, I know where I'm coming out. Okay. Wasn't as planned, but never mind. We'll go on to Leadwood Road, see if we can find our rhino. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Oh, that's where I want to come out. Never mind. But Alan, I've not heard of it. Maybe Mark has heard of it or seen it. Alan wants to know, is it true that two males fighting, one male will actually hold on to the other male's tail to stop him defecating? I've never seen that. Hippo. I've never seen it or heard of it.
I can't comment. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
You've not seen it? Because I mean, they are highly territorial in water, but there is a bit of a debate whether they're territorial on land. And there's also a debate as to why they spread the dung on land. Some say it's to actually help them find their way back to the dams. They can leave almost like a scent trail.
That's nonsense. They know exactly where they are.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they would know like a map, but so that one's a bit of a puzzle to people. And some people say yes, it's definitely because of territorial marking, but I'm not convinced either, to be honest. It'd be quite interesting to see if they do as much dung spraying during the times when you have a lot of hippos, like in Luanga, the Luanga Valley. It'd been interesting to see how much dung spraying they do, because there's hundreds and thousands of hippos there. So they can't all just have like one little area of grazing. I don't know. It doesn't really work in my head to be territorial on land, but territorial in the water, yes. But when hippos fight, you usually just see opening the mouths, the canines and the incisors are the weapons, and you will see them wrestle. And that's where they get all the scars from and scratches from, but never heard of the tail biting.
They do defecate into each other's faces.
Okay, that I haven't seen. Defecating. Oh, is that a little owl? I think there's a little owl just in the branch, probably about opposite where you are. I need to go back. A little owlet, I think. Just in the yeah. Can you see? Oh, it's just flown. Yeah, in the knobthorn. I keep wanting to call the knobthorn a knobwood. Come on, brain.
You don't have any knobwood.
I know. I don't know why I want to say knobwood. It was funny because I was saying it and I'm hearing myself saying and thinking that doesn't sound right. Why does it not sound right?
There is some in the Sabi Sand. I just haven't ever seen one.
I think, isn't it the knob? Oh no, it's a small knobwood that smells like orange.
Citrus wood.
And if you pick that, you could actually be fined, I think. It's a rare. If you actually wipe your hand on the leaf, it smells quite orangey. Small knobwood. But I was saying, and my brain just wasn't computing. And I have heard. Something else going on there. I have heard, Alan, of John Varty and the leopard he was following for 17 years. What was her name again? What was John Varty's? Oh, I forget what her name is, but I have heard of it. I think it was the Eye of the Leopard, wasn't it? Anana. That doesn't sound right. That's it, Manana. Thinking Nanana doesn't sound right. Manana. I think very, very similar to our Karula. You know, she was very relaxed. And you treated her right, she'd actually allow you an insight into her life. Sounds like our crash of 6. I heard Ephraim say something about some rhino. I think they're over in Buffelshoek area. I think our one male is possibly shorthorn. But he cut through, and he usually likes to come out onto Ledwood Road here. Oh, sure. So just... Whoa, too many numbers. Whoa. Hold on. I'm not going to remember in that. Okay. Okay, let's go again. But hi, welcome on board, John. So, John did a bit of research for us into the wild dog numbers and the cheetah numbers. Thanks, John. And John was saying... what was it, 19... What was the year? 1995. There was 434 wild dog, and it's dropped to 120 in 2005. Wow, that's a huge drop. And that was in Kruger National Park. $103 cheetah in 2005 were added to the census, so 103. But I think I last remember reading something about possibly 400 cheetah, but maybe someone can just double check in 2010. Someone can just check for us, but I'm sure the cheetah have increased. But it'd be quite interesting to find out what the wild dog population is now as well. And I was hoping to get the wild dog people who are researching up here, but unfortunately I think they're a little bit camera shy. And they're not up this way too often, sadly. Hi, Julie. Good to hear from you. I hope Gary's well as well. Come on, Mr. Rhino, where are you? If I get a chance to... Hello, giraffe. If I get a chance to, I'll try and show you a jackalberry. That one, I'm still getting used to myself. I can see the big trees, but maybe if we see a small tree, small jackalberry.
I was trying a jackalberry when we were in the drainage line.
Oh, were you? Oh, I missed that one. Mark was saying he was showing a jackalberry in the drainage line. I think if we see one again, if you can just shout, because that one I'm still getting to grips with. as is Julie by the sounds of it. 'Cause Julie thought the one that we were looking at was a jackleberry, young jackleberry.
The last one we looked at was jackberry.
But
But no, this time of the easy, they're easy.
yeah, but I've never met them before, so I wouldn't even know what I'm looking for. So if you see one, that'd be cool. And hopefully we can show Julie and Gary. Because the jackleberry does also have a slightly wavy edge, doesn't it? Not as much as the guari, the magic guari.
Yeah. Bigger leaf.
Yeah, much bigger leaf, Julie.
But it's the dark bark. It's the shape
the dark
of it,
bark.
It's
Because the guari, the magic guari, I mean, those magic guari is probably the largest magic guaris I've seen here.
yeah, there are some big ones.
Because, again, it depends on where you are. I mean, the Waterberg was quite an interesting area because there'll be trees there that would normally be quite small elsewhere. And yet there would be huge trees. I think the blue guari was the best one.
Can't see much of this rock.
The blue guari was the most amazing one. And that literally was a tree. And yet the only blue guari I'd ever seen was about the size of our magic guari here. There we go. Mr. Giraffe coming out. He heard you, Mark. Thanks, Gilly. Gilly's just talking about people in chat, saying one of the stories that gets passed down, and a lot of different cultures like the Shangaan, the Sepedi, and the Zulu would have stories about animals and that actually say why an animal looks the way it does or acts the way it does. And these stories would get passed down from generation to generation. And there's actually a few books, if you want to read some of them, called the Just So stories. And there's some very nice ones. And in the stories, it depends on which culture. Oh, we've got a bird of prey in the tree. But depending on which stories, from which cultures, that you'll have the mischievous ones and the law-abiding ones and things like that. And there's a couple of really nice ones. I just want to get past this tree. Who is it? Not great light on it. You can see it nicely there. Oh really? Wow, time's flown. It's looking like the juvenile gymnogene to me. Can you see it nicely?
Juvenile Battalier.
Is it juvenile battalier? I can't quite see it.
Gymnogene have longer legs
Yeah, I suppose.
and not.
I just was seeing quite a bare face there, but I can't really see too well. I wonder if we can maybe just move around a bit.
Yeah.
I think you could be right with the battalier actually. I see the tail. get him in some better light. Please stay, please stay, please stay. Oh yes, I can see it now. Okay, I was just seeing that the bare patch. But that was about all I could see. The juvenile batelier. Sadly, I don't know a story about batelier. Parents much more colourful, black with the red bill and red feet, and the red cere, the skin just close to the beak. It'll take a good few years before this little one actually gets its adult plumage. It'll take up to 7 years for them to actually become adult.
Take off any minute.
Yeah,
Maybe
it does.
just
He's
leaning into the
looking.
wind.
But it is a little bit windy up there as well.
Adult must be coming.
Yeah, I was actually wondering that. Calling. Feed me, feed me. So I'll come back to the story in a minute, Gilly, but there.
Huh?
There. Adults coming in on the right, where it was flying. Just gone behind the tree that the chick's sitting in. Well, chick, juvenile. And actually, I think Tandy Saseka has got a kill somewhere in Torchwood, which is where that batelier, I think, is circling. Yeah, there it goes. It's getting quite low over Torchwood.
Yeah, I've got it on.
Oh, you got it. Ah, there we go.
No, that's not Torchwood.
Hmm?
That's Hoffman.
Is it?
Yeah, Torchwood's east of us.
Yeah, we are east.
No, that's south.
That's south.
That's south. Where are you pointing now?
Huh? That's south down there. Yeah, that's east.
That's south.
Because we just...
East is where the sun is.
No, we've gone later on in the morning. Don't think my compass is working. It's saying south is over there.
I don't trust that compass.
No, I don't trust the compass either.
And then there's also too much metal in the car. But you got to hold it flat.
Yeah, I know.
So this is picking up on the metal.
Okay, well, should we continue? I want to try Mamba Road to see if Mr. Rhino went that way. Or up Drakensberg. I think we're going to see the adult coming in. Looks like he's gone. Ellie's went this way. Oh. So Jojo just wanting to know. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to grab. What is wrong with my brain? I'm trying to change gear on the microphone.
Change the microphone.
I'm trying to change gear with the microphone now. Oh dear. Good morning, Jojo. Wanting to know, with it warming up, are we more likely to see snakes? Yes, hopefully. We have been seeing a lot of tracks of snakes, and the temperatures have increased. August winds woke them up, as well as these berg winds that we're getting. Definitely warming, waking the snakes up. Who knows? Hopefully we'll see some wonderful snakes in the next few weeks. But Gilly, yes, one of the best stories that I've heard is about why the hippos spread their dung. And Hippo was wanting to go into the water because there was a particularly hot day and he really was just getting too hot and too lethargic. I forget which culture this is, by the way. I think it's Songa. But Hippo was getting just so hot and bothered, and he said to the creator, please, 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 can I go into the water, because I'm just feeling so hot and bothered and I just want to sit in the water and relax. The creator said, well, no, because you're going to eat my fish. I'd rather you didn't. So he said, no, I promise I won't eat my fish, I promise you. The creator's thinking, I'm not sure, I really, you know, my fish stock are there and you might just take one or two and it's just going to keep depleting. So no, I promise you, all I want to do is just sit in there and just... Oh, a rhino did come out here. Rhino tracks!
Sleeping good.
So no, I promise you, I really won't eat the fish. So it goes on like this for a while, and then eventually Hippo says, well, why don't you get someone to check my dung? And he says, I know the perfect guy to do it. Hyena. Hyena can check my dung and see if there's any fish bones. And the creator said, okay, cool. That's the deal then. So every day Hyena has to go and check Hippo's dung for any fish bones in case he broke his word to the creator. And that's why he spreads his dung so the hyena can check to see if there's any fish bones. I'm not sure if there's two rhinos here now. Maybe he met up with another one, or maybe this is two different rhino. Or I just didn't see two sets of tracks outside, but they look fresh. Heading that way now. Rhino, where did you go? Came back onto here. Windy alley. Windy alley. Apparently there's some good grazing on that side. It's funny, rhinos would do that. They'll go off, munch, come back onto the road again, go off, munch. Hello, mongoose. Bye, mongoose. shall say shalom because that's the only word I know. Shalom to you.
Boker Tov.
And Mark's, I don't know if you can hear Mark.
Tara say Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
Yes.
Are you teaching me to swear? What have I just said?
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Okay. I should have asked that question before. But yes. Oh, rhinos. We should meet up with these rhinos very soon. These are so fresh. We're on the right track. Ha 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 ha. But good morning to you. Boker, how do you say again? Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
Whoa!
Your hat.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very windy alley. It's
But it
saying you went
wasn't-
to. There.
Because it wasn't on my head.
Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Ellie's. I see Ellie's. Don't go, Ellie's. I think they're possibly Ellie's that we saw the tracks of as well. Come back! But Rafi's saying when he visited Addo Elephant Park, he saw animals preferring different habitats. And you saw some animals in certain areas and not in others. And is that true for here in the Sabi Sands in the Greater Kruger National Park? And it is true. And this is what I was saying about with the tracking as well. If you know what animal is supposed to be found in that habitat, it helps you to ID the dung or the track. Obviously keeping in mind that there is a possibility that animals can come through, but it should help to narrow the possibilities. And I've lost my rhino tracks. I think rhinos went down that way.
I know it is.
Yeah. Oh, they went that way, did they? I lost them.
Went up Central Road.
Huh?
Went up Central Road.
Yeah, that way.
East.
Yeah.
Oh,
Woo! So not in line with the sun.
You're going north. Opposite of north is south,
Uh-huh.
not east.
Uh-huh.
East is where the sun is.
Okay, where did Ellie's go? Maybe it was a mirage.
That was, there
I
was
definitely
big
saw
tree.
them. Huh? Oh, up there. I was thinking. But definitely, and as the type of rock changes or slight variations in the rock, it'll give rise to different types of plant and how the water drains from the soil and the different types of soil that come from the rock. All of that will give rise to different vegetation. The vegetation will then dictate what herbivores will be found there and then what carnivores will be found there. So everything is connected and everything has its role to play. And as I say, you can... Huh? You said they were up there. Or were they down here? Yeah, no, for sure, but I just wanted to check it was this tree you were talking
I
about.
think so.
Okay, well, we'll give it a go down here.
It might be on Hippo Pool Road.
Yeah, my thought was Hippo Pools, but I just wanted to double check where the tracks had gone in. It's fine, we'll go down here.
Unless we passed it already.
Yeah, because I was convinced it was further back that side. Never mind. Ellie, where are you? And there is slight variation, so we have the open areas, like the quarantine open area where we'll find...
There they are.
I see them.
Walking
Oh,
up.
yeah, we'll keep going. Yeah, these open areas where you have certain species of antelope and you're more likely to find cheetah on the open areas. So our rhinos did go east. At least we may be able to play with some ellies if they're coming this way. Oh, they've slowed down now. No, they're not. Right, they were walking this way. Okay, let's see if we can make a way in here. Looks like they're kind of going. Oh, there. Got a couple more. Thanks, Sue. Sue Max saying only 400 dogs in all of South Africa. 400 wild dogs. I think maybe the population in the Savi Sands and Kruger, because remember we border on Kruger, there's no fences between us. So maybe the population of dogs is not too far from 120. Good morning, Ellies. Hello, lady. Oh, not lady, mister. Got a collar on. No, it's just his ear. I'm seeing funny things today. This is not good. I think I see who was running. There's another bull coming up behind these two youngsters. Ooh. Got a nice whiff of somebody. Good morning. I wonder if it was you who I saw running across the road. Yeah, he seems to be walking with attitude. I'm gonna move again. I think they're going to be making their way towards Buffelshoek Dam. They seem to be at quite a good pace. I think we're probably best to go back on the road and try and come in again in front of them. Hoping it's going to work, rather than try and drive up behind them. It's not very polite. Station Smoorslambie and Love Hippopools Road, heading towards Buffelshoek Dam. so I could fit through that. And then I'll go around here. Ooh! That'll be a big log then. How am I there?
Yeah.
No?
Sharp roots of it. Nope.
Am I gonna miss it?
Yeah, it's fine.
There? There, you alright there?
Cool.
Which one?
One here on the tusk pointing down.
Ah, yeah.
Or maybe not her, but similar. Actually, it's not her, because the other elephant's got a tusk, the left tusk pointing down. But there's that big female with the right tusk that's also pointing down.
Fang. Yeah, it's quite a long one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, she's got one also.
Sorry, who was that the last question from, Sebastian? About keeping the population of elephants under control? That was it. Sorry, Sue, there was that other part to your information, asking how elephant populations are kept in check. And I think Kruger is actually overrun with elephants. I think they've got more elephants than what really the park can handle. And really nature will find a way to keep the population of elephants in check, and unfortunately what that is it will take quite a long time, but if you left an area and not managed it at all, then nature, the way it would work would be the elephants would feed to the point where they actually reduce the amount of food for themselves as well as probably other animals, and the populations would then start to decrease as there wasn't enough food available, and obviously the stronger ones that are able to find the food and utilize what they have would be more likely to survive over others that would struggle. You'd find quite a big population crash, and it wouldn't be an overnight thing. It would happen
Mobile after coffee.
over many years, and eventually it would get to the stage where the populations crash enough that they're not impacting on the environment as much as they were, and then the environment should be able to recover from that, and other populations should be able to recover, in theory. But I don't know what they're gonna, if they're gonna do anything about the population of elephants within Kruger. I know Botswana have left them, haven't they? And actually, lions have turned to feeding on elephants, possibly because that is what's happened. That elephants have become numerous, and maybe other prey species, maybe not as much. So lions have turned to utilising elephants as prey because there's so many of them. Still got a couple. I'm just going to see if I can park where this, and then might decide to go. So I'm trying not to drive right over this one, but I think I'm going to have to. It should be supple enough to bend back though. I think I was asked a while ago what member of the Big Five was the most numerous in Kruger, and I'd actually forgotten about the buffalo. I think the buffalo are actually higher in number than the elephant. If I move forward slightly, we might be able to see him just past this tree here. Oh, here comes the little one. A tree in his mouth. I will stay until these guys pass us, I think. The rest of the herd have moved on. thought this might have been a little bit more open, but it's not.
Getting deeper and deeper into things.
Yeah, I'm going to try and head that way, I think.
End of drive.
But I just thought that we were actually going to be able to see them here. Because it did look a little bit open. Thought that was the male that we were watching earlier, but it's not. I think it's actually the mother of that calf. She was waiting for it. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's been quite a relaxing morning, actually. Been nice just to spend a bit of time and just look at some of the smaller things. And hopefully you've enjoyed the tracking and the dung. Did more dung than tracks today. So hopefully this afternoon we might be able to do a few more tracks than dung, but we'll see. And try and get you geared up for the quiz. And it's going to be over 2 weeks, and if you can try and tune in to as many drives as possible, and we'll see who gets 100% or 75%, or see who gets the highest score over the 2 weeks of drives. But thank you very much for joining us here. Thank you for all your questions. It's been great to hear from you, wherever you are in the world. Take care, and we'll see you again soon on Wild Earth. Bye for now.